said there we rock. Real talk. And unplugged is real. See unplugged is real. See unplugged, cherry red, bleed a fifth. Hey girl. Hey. What's up? It's Monday. With a cherry red. Time to tune in that tip. What's up, what's up? Hello. Why you gotta call them?
What's up? What's up? What's up? What is up? Hey, y'all. Hey. It is your girl, Cherry Red, your Mike Night Queen. I'm back with another episode of C Unplugged. Real talk, real life, no filters. It's me. I'm solo dolo tonight, but the party don't stop. I missed y'all last Monday. I'm telling y'all, I missed y'all so much. But with my travels to Dallas, by the time I got home Monday morning, your girl was done for. Like I took a nap and the nap was it. Like that was all. Like that's it. That's all. And I would have been no good to y'all. No good to y'all. So I'm glad that y'all are tuned in tonight. Listen, tag somebody, share it with somebody. Let me know that you on, that you with me. You know, yeah. So we're going to get right into this because I got so much to talk to y'all about. And I am not going to be here all night for no 2 hours, 3 hours. I can't do it. Your girl ain't got it in her. So we not going to prolong the time, as they say in the church house. We not going to prolong the time. We just going to go into it, do what we need to do, and keep it moving. So put my devices on silent. What up, IG? What up, Facebook? What up, YouTube? I appreciate y'all all joining me. And put that on silent. Yeah. So I appreciate y'all joining me. We are going to get right on into this. Like I said, it is your girl, Cherry Red from C Unplugged. If you miss a day, you miss a lot. So don't miss no days. Okay. So I have some relationship stuff to talk to y'all about. I have some family and parenting stuff to talk to y'all about. I have some work and money stuff to talk to y'all about. And then we're going to sprinkle in a little bit of some airline industry stuff, some movie critic stuff, and yeah, some how you doing stuff. I feel like I'm embodying Wendy Williams. Like I love that lady. I love her. I wish she would come back because I definitely love me a good Wendy Williams, you know? I love me a good Wendy Williams. Oh, that didn't come off very well, did it? All right. All right. So we're moving on along. So yeah, let me start with seen two movies. I saw The Devil Wears Prada 2, which if you've seen The Devil Wears Prada 1, then you know that 2 was amazing. 2 was great. I really enjoyed it. And then I seen the Michael Jackson movie. And let me just tell y'all, full disclosure, okay? Full disclosure. So, from some of y'all that don't know, I'm a Midwest girly. I am originally from Gary, Indiana. Yeah, originally. My birth certificate say I was born Gary, Indiana, right? So, even though I moved to Georgia when I was younger, like my kids say, I flew here and grew here at the same time. So, but I'm originally from Indiana, Gary at that. So when I watched the movie, I feel like they left out a lot of parts, right? A lot of parts. And I was sad not to see Janet in there because I love me some Janet. And I felt like Janet and Michael were very close. So it was kind of weird to not see her in there. Um, but hopefully they will make another something so I can maybe there'll be another one. But his nephew really played him very well, to the T to me. I mean, looked like them. He looked like him. He sounded like him. Like it was just if you closed your eyes and listened, you would assume that it was actually Michael on that screen, and I didn't know he had the skin condition vertigo or however you pronounce it, and that's what they're saying turn his skin white, which is why he went from brown to white. Now I knew he had the nose job, I knew he had that, but I didn't know that he had that disease where you get the light spots on your skin. Like I didn't know. So but I mean, I sang every song like I was having a good time. I'm even gonna go and see it twice another time because I had so much fun watching it the first time that I feel like I need to see it again. So don't judge me, but I feel like I want to see it again. So if you haven't seen it, go and see it and then tell me what you think. But like I said, being a Midwest girly, listen, straight from Gary, Indiana myself, I felt like the movie was a really good quality of movie. I didn't realize that he liked animals as much as he did, but and when I saw the snake in the room, like I ain't gonna give y'all too much, but when I saw him with that snake, I was like, I know he lying. And then it was a girl in the room with him, and she left him in there with that. He left her in there with that snake. Oh no, ma'am. No, sir. I know he was lying because I would not be the one to be in there with a snake. No. But the movie itself, like it really was a really good movie. Like I enjoy it to the fullest. So let me move on to and I gotta get all this stuff out of the way because like I told you, I'm gonna be here for a good time, not a long time tonight. So let me get this out the way. And in addition to being a Midwest girly and being from Gary, Indiana, I'm also in the airline industry, which I don't talk about a lot because listen, I like to keep my professional business to myself most of the time because I don't like people to ask certain questions. Can you help me? Will you do this? Will you do that? Listen, if it's going to cost me my job, absolutely not. Because listen, I need my yearly salary until your girl gets like famous. And until I get there, I have to do what's right. So I am a part of the transportation industry, the airline industry. I'm a part of that and have been for the last 19 years. This year, October will be 20 years I've been doing this thing. So obviously I must like it, right? But I'm in school as well um for business communication because that is my next role once I decide that I'm going to take off my hang my hat up from being a aviation airline industry girly. So with that being said, as we all saw, hey, what's up, Donald? As we all saw, Spirit is no more. And I know a lot of people have a lot of things to say about Spirit, but let me just say this, okay? Because in the airline business, everybody can't afford to fly. That's first off. But at the same time, everybody can't afford to be driving either. And some of the places that people like to go, the drive is like 20 hours, 24 hours. Like who's going to drive from here to Vegas? Not me, not this girly. So when Spirit came in the game 34 years ago, okay? It's been a long time Spirit has been in the game. 34 years ago, they decided that they were going to be the low cost um the low cost airline that was going to be affordable for the people. Like they wasn't trying to wow you or What's up, Gabby? They wasn't trying to wow you or, be this extravagant airline. They just wanted to be an airline that you could afford, that the people could afford, you know. And a lot of people that took spirit, not to stereotype them, but those are the people that, were on a lower budget. They just really wanted to get there. They didn't care about the luxury of, Delta, or the luxury of United, or the whatever American is doing. Like, they didn't care about the big brand cereal boxes or airlines. They only cared about getting to where they was going. And again, I'm not the girlie that's gonna drive to Vegas. Like, no, I'm not gonna drive to LA. Like, I'm not doing that. So, and I've only taken Spirit like twice, maybe, and then I've taken Frontier maybe once or twice. And Frontier is another one. They decided that they were going to be for the people, and you rarely, if ever, saw a ticket on Spirit that was, $100 or $300. Like, you rarely saw that out of Spirit. So I my hat is off to them for 34 years of service. I'm very sorry for all of the people that um, would no longer have a job, and not just, a small amount of people. We are talking 17,000 people that woke up Sunday morning to find out that they no longer have jobs. Like, this is kind of like the TSA thing, but they had jobs, but they weren't being paid. But this situation, like, Spirit literally closed down. Now, there's been talk that a few people are trying to acquire them, from Elon Musk to there's a million billionaire black guy that is interested in buying them as well. So I really hope that they can find, I mean, of course, y'all's President Trump wanted to buy them. But listen, I really hope that whoever acquires them, they acquire them and do right by them, and definitely um, make sure that the people are, being paid at this point, or at least have jobs. Because being in this industry, first of all, like, I once wanted to be a flight attendant with Delta, but I don't want to go up and down that much. Even though I do want to see the world like that, I don't think that's the way I want to do it. But I hear that the interview process is very rigorous, very, very rigorous. So, to all of my Spirit girlies and guys, listen, don't let this be the end of your career. Like, don't take what somebody else is doing and let it affect you in a negative way. Like, if you have any goals, any aspirations, I would say that since they closed the doors, like, let this be your inspiration to move in the direction that you want to move in, that you have the desire to move into. Like, don't let spirits closing the door like deter you from living life. Like, don't let this be. And like, I tell people all the time, even though I've been working, for the last 19 years, like I said, almost 20 years, my sole provider is not that job, right? So if they were to close tomorrow, listen, it would be tough, don't get me wrong, but God is my provider, and I tell people every day God will provide. And if they close the doors tomorrow on the airline that I work for, I would say to myself, listen, God will provide. And this is just another way to for me to move forward. And yeah, Coco, I hear you. Delta should hire them. Yeah, they may be nice, but listen, Delta has a culture. And I don't think that Spirit has that culture. Can you learn the culture? Absolutely. But Spirit people would have to bring up their standards if they wanted to apply for Delta. Now, and that's just my opinion. I mean, I'm not saying that they ratchet or that they ghetto. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, when you do, they are apples to oranges to me. Like, Spirit, Frontier, American United, like, they everybody has their own, way of doing things, and their own, you know, yeah. Yeah, the people can be a little rude. They can, but uh, I hope you haven't had any rude people, but I know that you have because yeah, yeah. And I mean, if we go back to our trip to Dallas, man, listen, we I didn't even understand the process of that. Like I was so confused. And if I had not gone over there to talk to the girl, then each time we would have been in some weird positions. So I definitely get what you're saying. But to me it was a one-off. Like to me, not everybody is rude, just some of the people. But if for Spirit, like I would definitely encourage, the Spirit agents and flight attendants and whatever to apply for other airlines, especially if that's your passion. Because once you are in that industry and you are flying the way that they fly, oh my goodness, or even worked it the way that they work, just having the benefits, period. Like there to me there's no, well, I don't know because I've been doing the same thing for almost 20 years, but to me there is not a lot of jobs out here that are providing you the benefits that the airlines provide to you. I mean, listen, you could fly where you want to for free, or I don't know, Spirit let their people fly for free, but if they were flight attendants, you pretty much was going anywhere that Spirit was going. So again, my they have my full emotional support. The 17,000 employees of Spirit Airlines, and I just really hope that somebody acquires them so that they will be able to um, move forward and find other positions with preferably other airlines so they can continue to do what they love. And that's just my take on it. And like I said, you never can gauge what an employer is going to do. So we haven't got to the money and financial conversation as of yet, but when we do, this is my nugget to you to stop living beyond your means. If we all want to drive a luxury car, but listen, drive a luxury car that's in your budget, something that you ain't paying a bunch of money for maintenance. If you can't afford a big old house, listen, get you a house. Just period. I mean, or if apartment living is for you, then do that. But find something that is comfortable financially for you, because we have to stop keeping up with the Joneses, because who are the Joneses? And are the Joneses trying to keep up with us? Like we have to do better, financially. So when things like this happen, it's not a big uh scary situation and you have something to fall back on versus nothing. And now you in a crunch, like, oh my goodness, like what am I gonna do? So again, I really hope that the 17,000, because 17,000 is a lot, of people find other things that they actually love to do, or that they take a moment to step back and figure out what they like to do versus going to find just another employer just to work for, right? Because again, Spirit had been around for 34 years. So that says a lot for them. 34 years is a long time. That literally is 3 decades worth of time. So again, my hat is off to them for being around that long, for providing, a cost effective um option for people to fly and to get to where they want to go, because Spirit went a lot of places that a lot of people weren't aware that they went. I mean, of course they probably charge you extra for this and that, but listen, they still were their airline that would take you here and there for a fraction of the cost of some of the rest of these airlines. So again, my hat is off to them, and I really really hope that everybody finds something that they are okay with moving forward, whether it's going to school or whatever you choose to do. Listen, let it be on your own terms and do something that you like, is what I'm going to say. Don't spend some more time doing something that you don't like, right? And that's just how I feel about it. So more to come, more to come, more to come. So let's move on. I'm going to ask you guys these questions, and listen, don't be shy. Like I can see the comments everywhere. On yeah, Ty, I'm praying for them too. On Facebook, I'm putting the comments in the chat. On Instagram, you guys just hear me ask the questions. Feel free to chime in with your comments. I can see them. And if you want to join me, you can do that on Instagram. Just come over there and I can add you in and you can be a part, and then I'll move the mic so that my Facebook people can hear you. But anyway, so on the relationship side, I need to know, are people quick to walk away from relationships nowadays? Is it do they want to be committed, or is it convenience? And then if they walk away, like, whose fault is it? Whose fault is it that people walk away? So to me, I feel like relationships are not what they used to be. Like, everybody is so quick to jump ship, it seems like I listen, I feel like I've been in the same marriage since the length of time that I've been employed. So, like I said, don't be shy. Do you feel like people are quick to walk away from relationships these days? And is it are they really committed, or is it for convenience? Like, are people with people out of convenience, or are they actually with them because they really want to be in a committed relationship? Like, I feel like commitment, people are not like, people are so focused these days about being just whoever they want to be. Like, to me, they just aren't as committed as they used to be. And that's just my opinion. Like, I don't know, but it don't seem that to me that people are committed at like they used to be. Like our parents, like our grandparents, like they was together for long, long periods of time, like many years that we can't even fathom. Like, some of them been together 50 years and 60 years. And it's like, wow, like some of us have not even been around that long. But I would love to hear from a lot of those people to know, like, how in the world did they make that work, being together for that long, 50 years and 45 years and all of that. Cause yeah, but to me, people aren't as committed anymore. And I don't know if it's out of convenience. I don't know. Cause I don't know what the convenience could be. Cause it's a lot of people doing some weird stuff out here. I know it was a big thing before that. Some of the ladies was saying some of the places that they weren't willing to go on a date, like Cheesecake Factory and Spun Divots, that like they wasn't willing to go those places on a date. But back in the day when I was dating, listen, your girl was at Papa Do's, I was at Capitol Grill. Like, I was going some real fancy places that I didn't even realize was fancy. And some of them was so fancy that I didn't even want nothing on the menu back in my 20s. Like, I was I remember I dated this guy back in the day, and when I tell y'all Golden Corral was his place, oh my goodness. Now that was a bit much. I was like, listen, your girlie can't keep going to Golden Corral. He was a really big dude though, but he wanted to go to Golden Corral, and I was like, okay with it, like the first and second time. Then after a while, I was like, listen, I really only like Golden Corral's breakfast. Like, I don't want to go there for their dinner. Like, everything seems so processed. Like, I didn't want to do that. I was like, yeah, no, please don't take me back there. So then I think we stepped it up to like um Fridays or something. Like, we didn't go back to go go, but still was like, it, but see, Golden Corral is different where you are, because it's not the same like as here in Atlanta. Like, Golden Corral, like some of them depends on what side of town you go, but the one that was near my house, honey, no, they had roaches and everything. Once I saw that first roach, I was like, oh no, ma'am, no sir, I will not. Got my money back. It was like, I will not do Golden Corral. And then now I can't even get like eat my youngest son either. Like, I can't pay him to go to Golden Corral. I think I've I've made it real bad for him. Like, he want to eat good food. So I mean, he may go to Golden Corral breakfast, but I don't think I could get him to get dinner from Golden Corral, which is surprising because I can get him to eat Piccadilly, but not, but not Golden Corral. He's not gonna go there. He's not gonna go there. Yeah. I agree, Donald, that individuals do make relationships complicated. I do, but and it doesn't even have to be, because I feel like if you communicate enough, then it doesn't have to be complicated. But it is complicated. So now I need to know, is it possible, since you are chiming in, Donald, I need to know, is it possible for men and women to really just be friends? Or is there really like a hidden, type of something outside of just being friends? Now, I'm going to answer that for myself because listen, I have a lot of male, well, not a lot, but I do have a good amount of male friends because I do like I'm actually I'm surprised, y'all. I'm because listen, and it's not that I'm bougie or stuck up or, none of that. I really feel like I'm really friendly, like I'm really like really for real, like a down home type of girl. But like my facial expressions be like, don't talk to me. And not on purpose. Like I just am a person that does a lot of thinking. And when I'm thinking, like I feel like my thoughts are on my face, right? So a lot of people take me as if I just don't want to be bothered, but that's not the case at all. Like that's not the case. Like I really am very friendly. So I'm just recently I have made friends and I'm still shocked myself with this one chick because I usually don't like I make friends, but I don't I can't even explain it to y'all how it is. But needless to say, most females are just not friendly. So when you try to be friends, it's like they feel like you doing too much or it's too much. So I'm not as fast to make a friend with a woman as I am with a male. Like men seem like you know, they just mean what they say and say what they mean. You come right off the bat and be like, "Yo, I'm married." So, listen, if I can't introduce you to my husband and we whatever, then but I mean, sometimes like I have male friends at work, we may kick it here and there, but I just listen, I just feel like men to women, you say what you mean and mean what you say. You don't cross that line. Um, it depends on the individual, meaning if you both gel well together. Yeah, but that was not the question, Donald. The question was, can men and women really just be friends? That's the question. So if I mean I get the gelling part, but are you friends with the hopes that something else will happen, or are you really just genuine friends? Like for me, I am genuinely friends with some men that listen, we are friends and friends only. Like there's no crossing the line or, no extras, no slick talk, no, none of that. I'm just friends with them. And some of them I've been friends with for a very long time. And, sometimes we lose contact and then sometimes, they'll pop up and be like, yo, I saw you online, like, what you up to now? Or, sometimes it be business related. So, it just depends. Like I personally feel that men and women can be friends as long as y'all decide to be very honest with each other, open, and just do that. But other than that, you know, there are some people out there say they friends, but they want to be friends with benefits and friends with so and so. But I mean, hey, to me, I think, as long as you're open and honest about the situation, I think, any man, woman, everybody can be a friend. So I gotta know, since we on this relationship conversation, one last question in this category, and then we will move on to the next. What is considered cheating in 2026, or are the rules still the same? Like, is cheating cheating, or so because you DJ Swerve, you think if friends look good, it could be a problem? Like, what does that mean? What does looks have to do with friendship? So if you've been friends with a girl since high school, I mean, she look like what she looking, how she looking. So you gonna penalize her from the way she look? I mean, would it be a problem with your spouse? I mean, who is it gonna be a problem with? Because I mean, people can't help the fact way they be looking. And I could tell, listen, back in my younger days, especially when I was single and my hair was herring, hello. Listen, your girl will wet this hair up. I will put on this little halter top dress. I'll never forget. This guy invited me to, I think it was his dad's birthday or it was his birthday. It was somebody's birthday. I don't know. But at the time, I was single and I went to the party. And back then, hey, what's up, Chef One Way? So back then, when I went to the party, listen, I went and I was cute, like I was cute, cute. So when I walked in alone, because I was invited and I wasn't with nobody at the time, I was single, and I sat down near the women like I should, women being women. They were sitting there talking about their kids and talking about their work and this and that and the third. And I felt like because I was out, hanging out, I didn't want to talk about my kids. I definitely didn't want to talk about work. Like, no, I didn't want to talk about none of that. Like I wanted to be, females having well, I guess that would have been female conversation, your kids. But listen, I ain't bring my kids, so I didn't want to talk about that. So after hearing about that, and they asked me about my kids, and I felt I didn't know them, so I didn't want to really disclose that. I was like, yeah, my kids are good, it's whatever. Um, but after a while of sitting there, and yeah, because you're right, DJ Swerve, it could be a problem with your spouse. Possibly. It could be. But listen, if y'all have that understanding, it shouldn't be no problems. Like that's just how I feel about it. And then yeah, honey, this the long hair don't care, baby. I put this hair on every day and take it off and shake it around. And listen, after a while, it's gonna be better because your girl got some. I got some hair up under this here. Ooh, wait till I show it. I'm gonna pop out in a little while. But anyway, I was saying, let me not get off track. So listen, I was saying that I was sitting with the women for a while, but after a while, I went and sat at the bar because I felt like I felt like the guy had a wife at the time. They divorced since then, but the guy had a wife at the time. And when I sat down, or even when I walked in, they were like, "Okay, who is she with? Like who is she?" But we worked together. Some reason he wanted to invite me. Again, I was single, so I went. I went and I went to have a good time. So, but I didn't feel like the women were very welcoming when I got there. And once he saw me walk out and go sit at the bar, like one of his uncles or his cousin or somebody had come out to the bar with me because he ain't, maybe he sent them out there. I don't know. But my thing is, don't invite women to something when you ain't told your spouse, and then she walk in looking how she looking, and then now she the problem. Like, don't do that. So it was very weird to me. That was very weird, and I felt so out of place. But listen, your girl was still looking good, so I went and sat at that bar and was like, listen, and I said my goodbyes, and then I was done with it. Like I just so anything he invited me to after that, I was like, who gonna be there? Because I don't want to cause no problems. Like because back then, like I ain't fat now, but back then I was, I was like I was like a size 8. So I was, ooh, I wish I could be an 8 again, y'all. I wish. Oof, I'm trying. Anyway, so it was crazy. So sometimes you can be friends with a man, and men and women can be friends, but sometimes it's just tough. Like it's tough. It's tough because you gotta explain too much. So I'm sure he had some explaining to do when he got home. But listen here, the one that I married to, child, he don't seem like he care about nothing. He whoever show up, show up. Like he ain't pressing me. He ain't pressing me. So I'm glad. I'm glad. Now I gotta ask because that's all for the relationship section. So now I gotta ask y'all about y'all's families because I gotta know. Because some of y'all have some kids, that are not your kids, but they are your kids because they your married kids or however else. But do y'all think right now we are raising kids, we are raising soft kids, or are we healing broken generations? And I'm asking because like a lot of kids these days seem like they can't take almost nothing. Like they be about to crash out about the smallest little things. And it's like, yo, like what you crashing out for? Like just talk about it and think about it and like just address it. Like crash out later. Like this is not a crash out situation. So do you think that the kids are just soft, or is it because the generation is broken? Like some of us parents had kids when we were younger, right? And Um, what up, cuz? And we had kids when we were younger. So some of us, like our parents helped us raise these kids. So the kids have a little more a better foundation, right? But some people, the kids didn't your parents, I mean, maybe they was younger, older. I don't know. Maybe they just couldn't help. Um, they couldn't help you. So I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's a broken generation, but I definitely feel like some of the people just didn't get. And I'm moving the mic around, y'all, because I've got one camera in front of me and the other one on IG with me, and I don't want to cover up my face for IG. Maybe I should move y'all over so you can see me a little better, so I can move the mic. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say that the is broken. And I don't really think that we raising soft kids, but I think that we do shelter them from a lot of things that we went through. So I think we don't want I think that we just don't want them to go through the BS that we had to go through. So we do a lot of, you know, deflecting um, a lot of covering up, a lot of sheltering and stuff. To me, that's how I feel about that. Like I feel like we definitely do a lot of um like uh like a lot of I can't even find the word, but I feel like we do shelter our kids a lot from a lot of the stuff that we just don't want them to experience. We don't want them to have to go through the same things that we went through. Um so it's some I don't think that we're being too soft on them, but some will think differently. Some will think that, we just don't let these kids go through enough, or they don't, get enough experiences to have a life experience to understand some of the things that they do and they just really shouldn't be doing. They really shouldn't. So that brings me to the question of should your kids be friends with their parents, or is that crossing the line? So it depends from to me on what you consider as a friend. Like to me as a parent, and for y'all that don't know, I mean, I have 5 kids. I have 4 now, but I had 5 kids and 3 boys and 2 girls. And to me, like you got to define the word friend to me, right? Because being supportive or being there for them, or listening to them talk, um letting them cuss every now and again if that's what it takes to get their feelings out, doesn't really necessarily mean that you are their friend per se. But what it does mean to me is they always will know that you are there for them, right? So if they're having a moment that they really need somebody to talk to, or really, have to vent, then they know that you are that person that's going to be there for them. So I don't necessarily think, like, somebody will have to explain to me like what it really means. I mean, I know what a friend is, but like for me, I'm going to be there for my kids, and we talk about literally almost everything. Now, I do got a few of them that kind of hide a few things, but uh they just don't know that I could put two and two together. But if they would pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I really need to be honest with you about this," then I would sit there and listen. I would sit there and listen, and I would take it in stride, and I would definitely give them, some very good, strong advice on how to get past it. Listen, we can laugh and giggle about it, and that would be fine with me. But sometimes your kids can be closer to you than one. Sometimes your kids can be closer to you than one. I I don't get it. They know you in ways no one else can. That's very true. Very true. And vice versa. Like you know them in ways that nobody else can. So sometimes it's best that you keep it real with them So they'll know, listen, I see this in you, which is probably why you have this problem with that. You know, I see that you are very loving and trusting, here, but you have to be careful with that because sometimes people take your niceness for a weakness. So yeah, it goes to me, Donald. It goes both ways. Like you're right. They will know you better than anybody else, but at the same time, you will tend to know them better than anybody else. Just like that situation when your parents were like, "Listen, you shouldn't hang with that person because they mean you no good." And it's like being on the outside looking in, like people can see things that you cannot see. So as a parent, listen, if your kids are talking to you and asking you these genuine questions, I don't think it's about being their friend. I just feel like it's about being as supportive as you can to them. Listen, everybody is gonna make a mistake. That don't mean that you hold every mistake, against them. You just you just take it with a grain of salt. Offer them some very strong advice, and I used to think, especially my daughters, well, my sons too, but I used to think that they were not listening because I was saying a lot of stuff to them. And I was like, listen, are you even listening? But one day I heard some of them kids repeating the same thing to, like I told y'all before, I heard them kids repeating the same thing I said to them, to their friends. And I was like, oh, okay, good. They are listening. So listen, that's not going to stop me from talking. And I be as supportive as I can. And not just to my kids. Like I will support anybody that calls. My nieces, my nephews, like whoever have something they need to say, I am all for it. TT is always here and I will even my friends' kids, listen, if you got something to say, bruh, call me. I will give you some very strong advice on which direction you should go. Um, it's okay to have a friendly relationship with your kids, but boundaries must be established. I agree. I agree. Now there definitely are some boundaries now, but my boundaries are a little bit different. Like if the kid is very upset, and an F bomb pop out here and there, like I'm cool. I'm not offended. Like you not saying it towards me. You ain't calling me the B word and all the rest of this. I'm cool. So yeah, I do let them vent. I do, and how whatever that looks like for them, whatever that looks like, because I don't want it to be said that, here it is, I'm trying to talk to my mom and she's so worried about me cussing that she's not hearing what I'm saying or hearing, listen, because everybody get upset. And if that's how you react when you upset, then that's how you react. But when it's all said and done and the temperature is down, then I'm going to say to you, listen, when you upset, you should definitely choose your words better. But in the heat of the moment, like I'm not going to say that. Like I'm going to wait, again, till the temperature is down. And I'm going to say, listen, next time you get into a situation like this, definitely choose your words better or choose your reactions better. Or, you know, you don't always have to blow up about everything. Sometimes you might have just misunderstood something because it may have been the way they said it. And then this texting thing, oh my goodness. So I'm okay with texting, but I feel like if something is really important, then it probably needs to be talked about versus text. Is just my opinion with that. So sometimes you got to watch how you respond or how you address certain things because texting may not always be the way. But I would say, listen, do all you can to keep the lines of communication open with your kids because these kids, young adults, wherever you want to call them, if they 40 and under, they are young adult. If they 30 and under, they are a young adult. They still trying to figure this out. They still trying to figure out this life, this thing called life. And they are dealing with a lot of different things that we never had to deal with. We all when we moved out from our parents, ooh, when we moved out from our parents, the rent wasn't $1,200 and $1,500. It wasn't. And then some of these kids, they have no desire to have no roommate, which I'm cool with that because sometimes roommates are not easy. Like it's like being in a college dorm if that's what you choose to do. But so I get it. So I would say if you definitely have some grace with your kids, listen, keep the doors of communication open, because just because they are still learning how to communicate, don't be so offended to the things that they know already to how to communicate, because you are there to teach them, how to communicate, the right words to say, the right things to do. And if you already always critiquing how they say it, then they not going to come to you, because you so busy telling them how to say it that you forget to even help with what they want came to you about to begin with. So they're not going to keep coming back to you to help them handle a situation if you critiquing how they talk. So listen, if they throw around the F bomb and just don't get offended, just go with it. Like, and then once things cool down, like I said, then definitely try to, coach them along to respond in a different way the next time. Who trying to get nasty? Definitely when you trying to get nasty. What we Chef One Way, what we talk about? Who trying to get nasty now? You done lost me. Who trying to get nasty? Listen, so my next question to y'all is job security versus chasing your passion. What's smarter? Huh. Let me tell you. So, oh yeah, the roommate is nasty. Yeah. Yeah. But like I said, it's like college dorm living. Like some people just don't have they ain't cleanly they ain't clean. They ain't clean. They listen, they do what they want to do. And now that they feel like they paying a little rent or a little bill or whatever, then they feel like they get the opportunity to be who they want to be and do what they want to do. So I don't know. I never had a roommate. I never want a roommate, but I'm sure that they could be, quite nasty at times. So I definitely get you on that. I don't know. I get you. So, job security or versus chasing your passion, right? So, me at this current time, I'm doing both. So, I have job security. Like I told y'all, I've been at the same job 19 years, almost 20. But at the same time, I'm chasing my passion, which is why I'm going to school, which is why I have this podcast, because these things are my passion. Like, I don't feel like I should spend like if you not spend the same 8 hours that you spending on your passion, then you wasting your time, because guess what? You've worked at somebody's job for however many years you work there, helping them fulfill their passion. So why should you go to your grave and not have acknowledged your own passion? So if there's something that you like to do or something that you enjoy doing, then guess what? You should definitely um pursue it, because if you always say I'm tired or I don't have time or whatever the case may be, then you're never going to do the things that you like to do. And like I said, if um if you just focus on just that, then it's not going to get you anywhere, and you're going to be the same way that you've always been, doing the same things, not fulfilling your passion. And to me, that's just crazy. So again, for me, job security versus chasing your passion, I would absolutely say do both or try to make one work. But if chasing your passion has not started to be lucrative yet, then you have to do something to secure yourself, whether that's get a job or whatever the case may be. You have to do something to secure some monies to help fund your passion. So, like I said, I'm doing both. Like I do have job security, and at the same time, I'm chasing my passion at the same time. I'm going to school, I'm doing this podcast. Like I definitely I'm not the hustle has not stopped because I still have to work. Like no, I is listen, I still have to do what I have to do. So my next question to y'all, and thanks for joining TikTok. My next question to y'all is: a side hustle necessary or is it overhyped? To me, a side hustle sometimes is necessary. Depending on what you're doing, obviously, right? Facebook, depending on what you're doing. But if your side hustle is making money, then by all means do it. And even if it's not, listen, even if it's not making money, but you are getting the experience out of it, then it's almost the same. Like you still are getting something out of side hustle. So I would say if the side hustle is your passion, absolutely do it. Don't not do it because, you know, anything that you don't try, how will you ever know if you can succeed at it if you never even try? So my thing is always try first. And if you fail, guess what? Try again something different. Take a different angle at it. Take a different, approach to it. But if you fail, you're failing because you haven't put in enough work to it, for it, with it, whatever. So my thing is I would definitely say that a side hustle is definitely necessary. It's not overhyped. Not at all. And then my next question is, are bosses out of touch with real employee struggles? Because I sit on the management side of work, I feel like I'm in touch with real employee struggles. But I do feel like, and again, this is the opinion of Cherry Red from C Unplugged. I am the host of this, so I get to say what I want to say when I want to say it. So I do feel like a lot of people are out of touch with, as a boss with real employee struggles. I do feel like they do. I feel like it takes a lot of them to have to give too much of their business and too much of the scenario before their bosses say, um, okay, let me help you with this. I feel like the writing was on the wall, and they should have helped with the situation before it became a problem. So I definitely feel like bosses are out of touch with real employee struggles, and I feel like they have so much going on that sometimes they don't even remember that at one point they used to be a regular person before they became somebody's boss. So for me, I make sure I keep that in the forefront of my mind. I was a regular person first before I was this lead or this supervisor or this whatever. I still was a regular employee at one point in my life. And I don't want to tell you all of my business just for you to understand what I need or what I have going on. So I try my hardest not to treat people like that. Like if you need a few minutes, on me, then guess what? I'm going to give you a few minutes on me, and I will deal with the consequences later, which there won't be no consequences because it's my choice. If I feel like you need a few extra minutes, then guess what? You're gonna get it. You don't have to explain me nothing. Listen, Cherry said it was cool, and it's cool with me because I don't feel like you should have to tell your business to just get a breather, a woosah moment. Like what the life has enough stuff going on with it, and wow, has it been 2 years already? Oh, you said you retired 2 years early. Oh, because of your supervisor? It got to the point where I was about to, not put hands on him. Yeah. But see, Donald, that's how I feel. Like I feel like I'm very cautious to not let somebody dictate my fate, right? I don't want to be so consumed by somebody else and their feelings that they're going to push me out because honestly, I'm working my way to 25, and then once I get to 25, I'm good. Like I will have everything, all of the benefits for the rest of my life. Blah, I will put my time in. But I feel like and maybe, and I get it, if that dude was if it was to the point that you wanted to put your hands on him. And for TikTok, for the ones y'all can't see, one of the viewers said the question was, do you feel like your boss is out of touch with real life employee struggles? And he responded to say that he retired 2 years early because of his supervisor, and he felt like if he didn't leave, then he was gonna choke that dude out. Which I get it, but at the same time, and I know that your piece means everything. I get that because my piece mean a lot too. Like if people had to describe me at work, they would tell you, listen, Cherry like her piece. And you're right. Don't come to me with no foolishness. don't miss me with all of that, because I come to work for my 8 and I want to skate. Anything in between, you can miss me with it. But I'm not going to allow somebody to dictate my fate, and I get it. If you was there for a while, so I get, where you were with it. But if you want to stay 2 more years, me personally, I would have stayed 2 more years. And listen, every day I would have killed that dude with kindness. Like, he would have thought he was getting under my skin, but he wouldn't. I wouldn't have allowed him to get under my skin. But I know, as a male, I'm sure there was some testosterone issues, and he probably was throwing, his title around, and being some type of way. So, I get it. But in my everyday life, I feel like that's how people are. Like, they they intentionally come for you, right? Intentionally come for you daily, weekly. And for me, listen, do what you please, but I'm gonna cover my butt every step of the way. And then you could figure out who you coming for, because I just feel like it's some things are just so unnecessary. They just be so unnecessary. Um, so I do have one more question for y'all. And this is really near and dear to me, because I do talk to a lot of people, but my question to y'all is, do you and Donald, this is kind of going to piggyback on what we're talking about already. Do you think that people really want real advice, or do they just want validation? Ooh, I probably gonna step on somebody's toes with that. I'm gonna step on somebody's toes with that. So, but I gotta ask, do you really think that people really want um real advice, or do they just want validation? Do you think that people really come to you like to really hear what you have to say, or do you think they just want a yes man, for you to agree or to disagree with what they're saying? I mean, me personally, a lot of the people that I talk to, they really want real advice. But some of them really just want to call up to let somebody hear, what they saying, and they they really just want you to listen. They don't want you to talk. So it takes me a few minutes to gauge that. Do you really want me to answer? Do you really want my opinion? Or do you just want me to validate, what happened in that situation, tell you that you're right? Or, some people don't want to hear that they're wrong. So they don't want to hear that. So do you really want, do you, do you really feel like people really want your real opinion, or do they just want you to just tell them what they want to hear? And see, I tend to not talk to the people, or not invest too much time with the people that just um want you to tell them what they want to hear, because to me, what did you call for? Like, what are we talking about this for? Yeah, Donald, validation. Okay. I just feel like sometimes people just, they really don't want your honest opinion. Like, they'll call you and want to vent to you and want to ask you all these questions, but honestly, they really don't want your opinion. They just really want you to listen. They want you to validate that they either right, or they may be wrong, but I don't know. So I just tend not to not to not really get involved in that, because some people, like I said, they just really don't want to know. They don't want you to tell them, when they are wrong. They just want you to say something and go with it. And I'm really not one of them go with the flow type of people. So if you call me, you better know that I'm giving it to you real and raw. Is what you how you gonna get it. And if you didn't want it, then I'm not the person to call, because I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything for you and tell you, "Oh yeah, you right. You no, yeah, you was no, I'm not gonna do that. Nope, nope." So before we get out of here, I'm telling y'all, I really thank y'all for joining me tonight, because, like I told y'all, last week's travel had me a little tired on Monday. And I feel like every time I crack this mic, I owe it to y'all to be, my best. I owe it to y'all to definitely, keep y'all abreast to what is going on. So whenever I'm on, like I said, when I crack the mic, we talk about some real life stuff. Uh, cause it depends on. I think it depends on the level of open mindedness of the receiver of the advice. Yeah, that could be true, but do they really want the advice or do they just want you to validate what they're saying to them? And Instagram, y'all are just now joining me back. I had to step over to TikTok for a moment. You know, I had to, your girlie had to get on all the platforms to make sure my views stay up. I'm pushing for sponsorships soon. I'll be having open mic nights soon because, again, this C Unplugged falls under Red Platform Live, which I own Red Platform Live and See Unplugged as well. The podcast sits underneath Red Platform Live, which I am a talent artist consultant. Um, I do help a lot of artists um, feature themselves. I help them with interview tactics. We go over their music together. So I know y'all, a lot of y'all think I'm just a cute face sitting in front of a mic calling myself C Unplugged. But no, the horizon is much brighter, much broader. And when I pop out, y'all gonna know I'm not playing no games. And that is the main reason why I'm taking business communication right now. Because in order to sit in rooms where people are uh on a higher level than you and have things that you need, you got to be able to talk, right? You got to be able to feel comfortable with the things that you say, and you have to be able to feel comfortable in your own skin. So in order to do that, I sit in front of this mic with y'all every Monday night at 7:30, and we discuss some of life's issues and some of life struggles. And I'm telling y'all, my viewership right now is like so through the roof. So I really appreciate y'all for joining me. I really appreciate y'all for supporting. I have so many more things in store. I said eventually this will turn. I will. This podcast will stay, but I will eventually go over to another night as well to talk music solely. I will have artists that are up and coming to allow them, like, you got to have a platform for these people. So this platform right here on See Unplugged, it will allow them the opportunity to share their crafts with the world through the podcast. So the vision that God gave to me, even when I said I was going to stop doing the podcast, stop doing the show, and listen, all of this, I used to call it an accident, but listen, God doesn't make mistakes. So I was in a club one night, met a guy who did his own radio show. He offered me a seat as his co-host. I did that for a while. Found out that I actually loved radio so much that I was willing to do it by myself. And yes, I'm by myself tonight. And it's cool because guess what? The name of this show is See Unplugged with Cherry Red. So although I'm cool with a co-host, it's not necessary. I'm a big girl. I can handle my own. I'm a loner by nature. So I can, like, literally I can go to the movies by myself. I can go eat by myself. Your girlie will travel by herself. You hear me? Me and my Toomey luggage will roll through that airport by myself. And my husband will tell y'all, listen, if I say I'll be back, he knows I'll be back. And he don't press me because he knows sometimes your girlie need a little space. And sometimes I gotta go lay on a hotel sheet just to kind of, get my mind right to be, who I am, because I wear a lot of hats. And anyway, so across the bottom of the screen, if you have not seen tonight, I don't have on a shirt, but the shirt looks like the image that is actually behind me. And I'll move over. Well, IG, you can't see the image, but if you have my Facebook, I'm on Facebook as Cherry Red. It's all rolling across the bottom of the screen. I slowed it down so y'all can read it as it go instead of rolling it past there fast. But I'm a real techie, nerdy girl, if y'all haven't realized it. I'm techie and I'm nerdy. And as soon as I figure out how I can open the lines up for y'all to call, I will figure it out. But I have not got there yet. The most that you can do is call on my Instagram, and I can move the mic so that the people on all the social media platforms can hear the person over there. So if you choose to join in, you can always join in that way. But listen, what was I saying? Oh, if you want to buy a t-shirt, again, the t-shirt looks like the image that is behind me. Thank you all for the t-shirt. The ones of you that have purchased t-shirts already, listen, the funds go to funding this C Unplugged. Listen, the space I'm in is not free. I decided to come out of my house because I wanted to have guests and I didn't want to bring the guests to my house. And I also wanted to take my craft, my profession a lot more serious. So in order to do that, I have to step out of the box and come outside of my house. And listen, I appreciate all the support. If you are of smaller sizes, small to extra large, shirts are $20. And if you need a larger shirt, then the shirt is $25. In order to get the shirt, you can DM me your size, say that you want a shirt. You can do it on Instagram, you can do it on TikTok, you can do it on Facebook, however you want to get DM me. I'm on all of those places. If you have my phone number already, just text me. Let me know what size you want. I ship all shirts. I will meet you with the shirt. Right now, I have a lot of sizes. I think I may only have maybe a few smalls left. Um, so, yeah, if you want a shirt, then absolutely hit me up and I will be glad to ship a shirt to you. And eventually, I'm going to take a group picture somehow with all the people that have my shirt, or maybe I'll collage them together. I got to tell y'all. So last weekend, I was in Dallas for a memorial service for my cousin, which was absolutely amazing. I'm very proud of my cousin for such an amazing job that she did to put that together. Um, I'm thankful to all the family that decided to travel to be of support to her because I've been in that same seat. I'm still in that seat, and I appreciated all the people that traveled to me to support me. So please know that even if she didn't say thank you this time, your presence was not in vain because when you are an angel mom, it is not easy. The road is not easy. My son has been gone now for 8 years, and every year feels like yesterday. So I'm sure that she was very thankful, the ones that live there locally, and all of us that flew in. It just was an amazing weekend. But on I walked in the house on Saturday, I think it was. We got over there, and one of my cousins was wearing my shirt, and I really tried to be under the radar, incognito, you know. I don't have tank tops, Mo, but I miss you. I need to put my eyes on you. I mean, it is gonna get warm. You can cut the sleeves off if you want, but I don't have tank tops. Girl, maybe I mean I could cut it up if you want, but I miss you. I miss you so much. I need to put my eyes on you. We need to have lunch, brunch, uh, a cup of water, whatever it is you want to do. My house, your house, whoever's house. We can go out if you want. Totally up to you, but I miss seeing your face. But thanks for your support. So yeah, to walk in that Saturday, and I think I got like 50 new viewers just from being there because one, once I walked in, he was like, "Yeah, this is the girl whose shirt that I'm wearing," and I was like, "Oh," but I'm telling y'all, I went in because I wanted to be so humble, so down to earth. I didn't really want people to know. I don't even know why, but I went there for a reason and I just didn't want to make it about me. So I was like, so anyway, this one of her friends that was there, literally, she sat on the couch and watched all of my episodes. And I felt so honored that one went off and she just started the next one. And I was like, wow, that is just amazing. And then all of my cousins was like, how can I get a shirt? Like what do I do? How do I do it? Like what do I need to do? And I'm like, listen, just hit me up, tell me your size. I will ship the shirt. Okay. I will ship it. And again, this just the selling of the shirts is just another way for me to get myself out there. Like I literally wear my shirt everywhere. I be at the grocery store. Only place I haven't worn a shirt yet is to work. But everywhere else, if I go to the gym, I got the shirt. If I go to the airport, guess what? I'm repping me at the airport. Wherever I'm going, I have this shirt on. So if you want to purchase a shirt again, please DM me. Because I have so many viewers, I just don't want to put my phone number out there yet. I mean, I do have a business line, but I don't want to put that number out there yet. When I get to moving, I will put the number out there. But right now, if you want a shirt, please DM me. And um, yeah, yeah, it does. It does start with family. And so much of my family is supporting me, and I'm so thankful for it. I mean, you do what you do. So I'm sure you know that without your family in the beginning, because you are so big now, but in the beginning, I'm sure, Mo, that when you tell your family what you want to do, I'm sure I'm hopeful that they were as supportive of you as my family, was of me. So yes, I do appreciate my cousins, and I mean, I must have sold 5 shirts just with his just with him wearing the shirt. I'm sure I sold at least 5. Well, I know, yeah, I think I sold 5, at least 5, just in that weekend, that day alone. I sold 5 shirts. So yeah, I have more. So if you are in need of a shirt, again, the information is rolling across the screen. If you wear a small to an extra large, they're $20. Extra large to 3X to $25. And if you are larger than a 3X, just let me know. I can hit my t-shirt guy up, and he will print me on a different something larger if you need it. So listen, it has been absolutely amazing tonight. Thank you all for joining me. Like I said, I appreciate the support. It does not go unnoticed. I appreciate, because I mean, you could be doing something totally different on a Monday night than sitting here with me. So listen, it has been your girl, Cherry Red from C Unplugged, your Mike Night Queen. Don't forget, your Mike Night Queen. I am signing off. So stay real, stay honest, and stay unplugged. I will see you all next Monday night, 7:30. Tell a friend to tell a friend, tag it, share it, post it. Listen, we all are out here trying to make business moves. Support the best way that you can. And I will in turn support you. If you need support, you have my number. Hit me up, and I will be wherever you need me to be to support you. So thank you again. God bless y'all.